I'm going to show you how to take a PDF and make it more interactive by adding checkboxes. So we have to open a file up in Adobe Acrobat Pro. Open up this file here. And checkboxes work very well for activities that, for example, are multiple choice. So here we go. I'm going to select Tools on the right-hand side. And you'll see I've already opened Forms. You can open and close it. And we can do several things here. We can create forms, or we can edit forms if we've already started. Now, I haven't done anything before, so I'm going to create. It's going to ask me a few questions. It's going to ask me if I'm using the current one. Yes, I am. Current document, yes. And now it's going to read the document, and it's telling me it's finished reading the document. It put in some text boxes where there's a line. Anywhere there's a line, it'll put in a text box for you, which makes it very nice if you're doing a fill-in-the-blank activity. But I don't really want the students to write A, B, or C here. What I want them to do is to select. So I'm going to just easily delete this. And it's gone. And now what I want to do is I want to put some checkboxes right here next to the ABC. If we go over to Add New Field, it gives us our different choices. I can also right-click and get the choices. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add checkbox. And I can place the checkbox anywhere I like. Now I have a checkbox. You can also give the checkbox a name, which I don't do. It's a waste of time. So I'm going to make it a little smaller because the lines are a little close together. And you can play with that a little bit. There you go. Now, I can do lots of things to alter this by opening up properties. So, for example, we'll just go to General here. It gives you a place to write the name. And you should always make sure that the text box is visible so the students can see it's there. If we go to Appearance, we can do things like change the color and the way it looks. For example, I could change the border color to a nice red, like this. And I could change the fill color if I wanted as well. Change the thickness of the line, especially if it's a small box like that. I can also change the text color. In this case, because it's a text, or because it's a checkbox, the text will be the check. So I'm going to make it, let's see, a nice blue. There we go. And if I go over to Options, I can also change from a check to different shapes. For example, a star. And that gives you some, you can have a little fun with that and make them different for different types of questions. So once I'm happy with that, I close it. And now I have one checkbox. That's a lot of work for one checkbox. But what we can do easily is create more checkboxes. Now, a lot of times we copy things, but in this case we cannot copy. The reason we can't copy is when a student checks the box, if you've copied the boxes, all of the boxes will get a check because they're identical. What we want to do is go down and place multiple fields. So I'm going to select multiple fields, and you can see I can select how many across, how many down. So I want 3, of course, and I only want 2. Now they're very close together, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to change the location. I'm going to make them a little wider apart. There we go. I can also move the overall position as well. So that's great. Okay, fantastic. So now I have 3 checkboxes. But of course, I have more questions on the page. All right, I have more questions for the students to do. So I can select all of them, place multiple fields again, and this time I'm just going to do one down, and I'm going to move them all the way down. There we go. Okay. And now I have all my checkboxes. And that's how you create checkboxes for any sort of multiple choice activity for your students.